Well, hello. This is a practice for the night time, so feel free to come along in your pajamas. It's a nice practice to do to unwind. Feel free to sit for most of it if you want to, and if you're, suffering from some illness or something, then you can do most of the practice sitting down. So we start in Wuji pose with our feet shoulder width apart, and just think about just relaxing everything. Relax your bones. I think there's 26 bones in the feet. Let's just think about relaxing those bones, soften the knees. And as if you're about to sort of sit on a chair, kind of lift the pubis a little, and then as if you're sitting on a chair, allow the tongue to touch the roof of the mouth as the chin comes down, generally in the direction toward the chest. And activate your Taji pole. This is the line of energy that runs out through the crown of the head, all the way down through the body, out through the perineum, out through the legs and the soles of the feet. So I'm just going to start in that Wuji pose and bring, as I say, as you bring that tongue behind the top teeth, just going to smile. Just imagine, although it's nighttime, there's a lovely warm sunshine on your face, and it just warms all the bones in your face, and everything begins to relax. Anything that you don't want can just kind of slide off of you down to the floor. Let go of the day. Intention is everything, particularly in Qigong. So have the intention to let go. Practice and develop the art of letting go. So as we stand here, you might, if you're a little bit up in your head, if you've been on your devices all day, you might need to just slightly grip the floor with your toes. That's fine. And soften everything. Drop your energy. So think about sinking your feet into the earth. Imagine they've just shot out some sort of deep roots into the earth, and Mother Earth has reached up to hold them. So you're completely held. And smile. So you might have had a bad day, but smile. Give your body a message that was all right now. You're about to go to sleep. You can rest peacefully. So you can smile. And as you smile, you might notice it widens the occipital bones at the base of your skull. It just kind of makes your base of your skull smile as well. And the smiling energy, drop that smiling energy down into your heart, as if your heart could also smile. And then we are going to just bring the hands toward the lower dantian. Excuse me, looking at my notes here. I want to make sure I get my sequence right. So we have the hands in front of the lower dantian. These bosom chakras between Manipura, our place of personal power, and Svadhisthana, this area between the hips, the pubis, and the navel, the sacrum, and all these abdominal organs. And I want you to imagine that you're wearing a rubber ring, the kind of thing that you'd wear when you were a child in the sea. And as you inhale, breathe into the sides of your waist, the front of the waist, the lower back. Really fill up. And as you exhale, imagine everything condensing into the midline of your body. So as we inhale, we're going to count to 4. We're breathing in through the nose. Remember, your nose is for breathing, your mouth is for eating. So unless otherwise instructed, keep your mouth closed. Breathe in through the nose. To the count of 4, expand your rubber ring and breathe out through the nose or through the mouth to the count of 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath a moment. Breathe out through the mouth or the nose to the count of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause a moment. Then inhale to the count of 4. 3, 4, expand the rubber ring, pause a moment, exhale to the count of 6. When we lengthen that out breath, just keep going, ignore my count now, do your own. Inhale to the count of 4, expanding, exhale to the count of 6. So by making the out breath longer, we're cooling the heart fire, we're just beginning to get rid of some of the excess yang energy that we need for doing. We want to just start to be. So we exhale to the count of 6. Imagine when you inhale this rubber ring expanding out, breathing into your belly, giving some much needed energy there. And then as you exhale to the count of 6, everything coming into the midline of the body. Just do one more of those. Really have a sense, if you remember the Michelin Man, imagine your whole body is now breathing in and expanding. And as you exhale, everything comes back to the center line of the body and back to Wuji pose. Your outside edges of your feet should be nice and straight. You're sinking the weight down into the earth. You're sinking the breath into the belly. Knees are bent. Lift the pubis slightly, chin down. We're going to float the arms out. So make it a really light movement, as if you're like a puppet and somebody's pulling the strings on your wrist. Your hands come up to shoulder height, and then you turn the palms up, gathering heavenly chi. We're going to cool everything down by just pressing this energy all the way down to the lower dantian. Just bringing everything down, cooling everything down. We're going to do 6 healing sounds. And the first sound comes from the lungs, and it's lots of S's, like a kettle hissing. So inhale now, nice deep in breath. On the out breath, make lots of S's. That's the sound of the lungs. Sound of the kidneys are chew, CHOOO, lengthen the O's. Inhale now. On the out breath, it's possible you may not hear that with me doing that. So now this third sound comes from the liver. The sound is SHs. So it's a shushing kind of noise. We inhale, floating the arms up, gathering chi in the palms. Shh. SH is on the way down. Shh. Just bringing the energy all the way down. Our fourth sound comes from the heart, and it's ha, H-A-A-A-A-A-A. Float the palms up, gathering that heavenly chi. Inhale now. Exhale with the sound ha. We're cooling everything down. These 6 healing sounds are wonderful for just resetting the vagus nerve, just bringing us to a nice peaceful place quite quickly. Inhale. This sound is WHOOO from the stomach. Inhale. Pressing that energy down. Our final sound is H-E-E-E. Lengthen the E's. It comes from the triple warmer. So inhale. And back to Wuji pose. And just notice how you feel. Just bringing down the heavens is a kind of reset, and it calms the heart fire. It starts to take the attention away from the mind and bring us toward the body. And of course, the healing sounds are wonderful. Just get into the habit of practicing them more and more and more. They're so beneficial. Let's bring the hands together. We know we've got mini chakras in the hands. Let's warm the hands, rubbing them right down to their fingertips. And bring those lovely warmed hands to your lower back. Your kidneys sit just above your waist, and just slightly bend over so that you can really feel that warmth in your kidneys. And then gently rub the kidneys up and down, particularly in winter time, but it's also a nice reset just before bed. Just hold the hands there, notice how they feel. Can you feel any energy in your hands? The kidney chi, the kidney energy is yin, they're yin channels, yin organs. We're just going to make okay symbols with the thumb and index finger and gently tap up and down the kidneys toward the sacrum. Just getting rid of any stagnant chi, anything that we don't want there. So the kidneys are yin organs, but there is a yin and a yang kidney. Finally, we're going to cup the hands over the kidneys. Again, just breathe into the kidneys. Imagine they're balloons, and just puff them up and feel that your hands are gently holding them, as if your hands were holding a baby bird. Feel that you're holding your kidneys, these amazing organs that have been with you your entire life and doing such a wonderful job for you. Doing the job of working with the bloods and filtering and the bones. And then finally, we're just going to cup the hands just gently. And hold the kidneys again. Don't be in a hurry to get to the next bit. This is where we are. This is us slowing down before bedtime. And then just taking the feet a little bit wider, bend the knees. Let's come over into a forward bend. Hang the hands down for a moment. So just get your feet nice and steady. So when you're here, you can just nod your head as if you're saying yes. So let the neck be loose. And then turn the head as if you're saying no. No, that's it. Done for the day. This is rest time. Rest in the center. And then bring all of your fingers together. Pinch your fingers together. Bring them around your sitting bones, those knobbly bones there, the top of the femurs, and just start to really massage into the back of the legs. You can straighten the legs. We can keep them bent, particularly if you spent a lot of time sitting down. Really massage into the back of the knees. Just get the fluids there moving around, and then all the way down through the calf muscles and out through the soles of the feet. And then slowly, gently come up to standing again and notice how you feel. Take the feet a little wider apart. So we want to exercise the yin channels, which are in the inner seams of the legs. So we're just going to bring the hands onto the hips, turning the right foot out. Just going to have a nice little lunge and back to the center, turning to the other side. Nice little lunge and back to the center. And this time, as we turn to face the area that we're lunging in, let's just lengthen up in the front of the trunk. It's almost as if we're taking a gentle back bend. So we're just giving this left kidney a little bit of a squeeze. Bring the shoulder blades together. Don't look to the ceiling, but just look slightly up and then back to the center. Over to the other side. Always pause in the center. And then same thing here. So turning the trunk over the knee that we are lunging toward, and then just taking a little gentle back bend. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, opening up the front of the spine and squeezing this right kidney. And then back to the center. Once more over to the first side. So the trunk is facing this knee that we're bending. So you may need this back foot to be turned in quite significantly. You can grip the mat with the toes if you're not sure about balance. And lunge and open. Come up, back to the center. And lunge and open. So stretch that back leg so you can feel the stretch in the groin. Stretch that outside edge of that back foot away from you. Wonderful. And back to the center. Okay. Back to Wuji pose. Straighten the outside edges of your feet. And chi rises and chi falls. Energy rises. Bring the hands up to chest height and then down. Chi rises and chi falls. Chi rises and chi falls and it disperses. We're taking the arms out to the sides, turning the palms up, bringing the hands to above the head, bringing them around the neck. And we're going to stroke hand over hand over hand over hand from your right ear toward the center of your neck. And this is soothing your vagus nerve. Go to the other side now, hand over hand. Really spread your hand and feel the warmth of your hand on your neck. Lovely. And then bring the backs of the hands to come down through the heart, cooling the heart around the rib cage and to rest on your kidneys. Feel that warmth there. And then again, float the hands out, turn the palms up, Bring the hands into the prayer position above the head, bring the hands behind the neck, and again, just start to stroke from the right side of your earlobe down to the throat, soothing the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the biggest nerve in the body. It's a net, like a net, over to the other side. When we feel anxious, that is activated in the chest area. So this soothing, this gentle stroking of the neck is just a lovely way to soothe that worry, that anxiety. And then we bring the backs of the hands together, cooling the heart around by the rib cage, resting those lovely warmed hands on the kidneys. We'll just do that one more time, floating the arms out, gathering this chi from the heavens, bringing it down through the crown of the head, around the back of the neck, and then just stroking hand over hand. Just get used to feeling the warmth of your hands on your lovely neck, and then on the other side. Stroking, stroking, stroking. You can do this for a little longer if you want, and then bringing the backs of the hands together to cool the heart fire around by the rib cage, resting the hands there. So we're just going to finish. You can sit down if you want for this. We're just going to finish. What am I going to finish with? Oh, actually, no, there's one more before you get your chair. Back to Wuji pose, and just take a moment to kind of sway to the front of your left leg, to the heel, and then to the back heel of the right leg in the front. So that you're just transferring weight. This transferring of weight creates balance. And bringing the hands to Bao Qi, the hands facing upwards. So you're just doing this almost like this semicircle from the front of the feet to the back of the feet to the front as you transfer the weight. And the next time we go on to this right leg, take your left hand over, right hand faces the ground, as if you're offering a peach to somebody. And then as you come back to the other side, turn that hand down, offer the peach to the other person there. So the hands, we have to have one hand facing heaven, one hand facing earth. So as you lean over onto one, transfer the weight onto one side, you offer the peach there. This is called Sage presents the peach. And as the weight comes toward the front of the foot, you're offering the peach out. It's really soothing, wonderfully balancing practice that we can really slow down. Interesting, when I wrote down presenting the peach, I actually wrote down present the peace. It's a very peaceful practice, just what we need before bedtime. Getting out of the head, getting into the body and relaxing. One more on each side now. And back to Wuji. So now just take a chair or sit on the edge of your bed, or you can still do this standing if you want. And bringing those fingers into V signs, and either side of your ears, just gently rub up and down. This again helps to move the fluids. I think the liver channel is here, the gallbladder channel. So we're just clearing out any stagnant chi. Just rubbing and then flicking out. And also, let's just take the fingertips to rub the temples. Just gently rubbing the temples. You can press in. Breathing gently in through the nose and out through the nose. We use the nose to breathe, we use the mouth to eat. And then flicking the fingers down. So the The ears relate to the kidneys. So we're just going to take our first finger and thumb, and we're just going to gently, at bedtime I'd have taken my earrings out usually, just gently rub the ears, just massage them, just giving the ears a little bit of TLC. And lovely. And then we can just gently pitter-patter the fingertips around the head. And then play the piano on your forehead. And just gently tap on the cheekbones under the eyes. And with the middle fingers into the little indents on the side of the nose. Just tapping there, up and down the sides of the nose. It's clearing. Imagine your sinuses clearing. You can actually say, my sinuses are clearing, cleansing, releasing. My sinuses are now clearing, cleansing, releasing any blockages. Flicking the fingers out. And then finally, your middle finger, one below your nose and your top lip, and that rubs in that direction. And the other finger on the chin, rubbing them in opposite directions. Flicking the fingers out. And then just taking your fingers and thumbs, pinching your chin, pinch and squeeze all the way out the jawline. And again. And that is our evening practice. So bringing the hands in down, Jali Mudra, the prayer position. Bow your head to your own innate guru, teacher. You know, the spirit of the mind likes to go to sleep in the heart, so we have to empty the contents of the mind, allowing the heart to be a nice place for a night's rest. I finish with the greeting from the Brahma Kumaris who teach Raj Yoga, Yoga of the Mind. Om Shanti. So bring the thumbs, knuckles of the thumbs to your forehead. Have sweet dreams, right thoughts, right words, have right speech, and the thumbs on the heart center. Right deeds, right actions. Om Shanti. Have a wonderful night's sleep. Leave any comments in the comment box below and tell your friends if they need to have a good sleep. This is a nice practice. Thank you.